Start recording and start streaming.
Oh, just like that.
And we are live. Welcome back to Let's Talk About It. I'm Jay with J Mart Media.
And I'm Jacob with Nephew Tech. And we always have difficulties.
We have difficulties.
Really, we're just letting
There
you
we go.
you get a chance to tune in. Uh-oh.
Let me make sure this is actually okay.
Oh,
Cool.
I'm good on both mine.
We're good. And we are live. This week we've got quite a few topics to tech about. We'll be teching about the Chinese. They're trying to copy Mr. Musk. We've got a Fortnite star in the news, not for good reasons, but it's not his fault. Minecraft, as always.
Yep. Also not good news.
Nope, it's a bummer. Harmony OS, which is Huawei's new OS. We'll talk about that a little bit. Microsoft Office, no longer selling a license. It's a renter's world nowadays. It sounds really bad, but when you look into it, I don't think it's quite as bad as it initially appears.
So we're already in
I'll see how in
disagreements.
depth. I'll see how in depth you read this article.
0.
Whether you read the title or the actual article.
Just the title.
Yeah, that's what I figured. So, some disclaimers in there. Super camera sensors. What could be better than 108 megapixels? Well, quality megapixels. But we'll get into that. And zombie apps. And why syncing your apps with the cloud could be a bad idea.
It's always a bad idea. There's never a good point to it.
Never?
There's never a good reason
We
to
may
sync your
talk
apps.
about it next week. Not the zombie apps, but
Okay.
why it could be possibly a good idea to have some stuff synced up. And, yeah, meme of the week.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and also, Sean last week won the SSD, but unfortunately he's out of the continental U.S., so he told me to re-raffle it this week. So you guys get another chance. We'll do that at the end as well. So thank you, Sean, for your support, and we will raffle that off again at the end. Where you want to jump in? Right at the top?
Either at the top or you make me look like a fool with the Office is now a renter's world.
We can start with the Microsoft Office.
Cool, because
you're very heated about this topic.
I'm really heated about the title of the topic.
Yes, the title of the topic.
And now that I'm reading your bullet points.
A little bit of backstory. Subscriptions, this guy hates them. And I would argue for good reason in most parts. The title of this article, let's see, where was it? We found it over on Engadget. And let me find the title of the article because it was very sensationalized.
Here we go. You can throw me over.
It said Microsoft. Oh, wait. Yeah, hold on. Let's see here.
Right side.
Yep, so there you can see. That's the title of the article.
Oh, it's too late. You're in charge of it now. But the title is Microsoft drops one-off Office license from its home use program. So the one-off Office license is the idea that you buy the software, you own the software. Kind of like how you buy a can of baked beans and you own the can of baked beans.
Yes.
Or you buy your car and you own your car.
Or you buy your iPhone and you own your iPhone. Oh, wait.
Oh. This is like you rent your house and you rent your house.
Yeah. So, on the surface, it appears that Microsoft is dropping purchase one-time Office licenses, which is not actually true. This is just for its home use program. So when I read the article and kind of looked into it, the home use program is a program which allows employees to buy products that they use at work for use at home. So say you work in an office and you use Microsoft Office for your work or PowerPoint for your work.
Okay.
Microsoft offers a discount on buying a license. So previously you could get like a 30% discount on the perpetual license.
Okay.
But now the discount only applies to the subscription. So you can use it. You can buy a perpetual license for Office, but you don't get the discount as part of its home use program.
Okay, that makes sense.
So it's not quite as bad as it seems from the title.
So unless you're one of the Fortune 500 companies, most likely there's going to be more Office piracy. Because instead of a business buying a copy for you at the office and your laptop for home use, they're probably going to just say, oh, we could just dual use this license. or they're just going to pirate Office 2016 and call it a night.
Yeah. So although you
I
can
don't-
still buy the perpetual license, you can see that this is a move from Microsoft trying to move people over to the
Office
subscription plan.
365. Okay.
Because in the long run, they make more money off of the subscription rather than just a one-off purchase.
So I only legally own one copy of Microsoft Office, and it's on the one work computer that I actually never use it on.
Okay.
All of my other computers, not that side, use this LibreOffice
Okay.
because it's legally free. It does everything you need to do, and it's actually what I push really hard at my store.
I pretty much use Google Docs.
Okay, that's fair. But that has cloud syncing, so
Yeah. Even if I have to read like a DocX,
yeah.
I will import it into Google
Really?
Docs
Okay.
to read it.
The only 2 times I push Office on any type of customer is when they're business and they just want Office.
Okay.
And you can't convince the person otherwise.
Which probably happens
It
a
happens
lot, to be fair.
an aggravating amount. Or the people who are doing a college class on computer Microsoft Office.
And actually need it.
And they
Yep.
have to
So
have
I did
Office.
have one course in college which
Like-
needed Office for PowerPoint, for Docs,
Yep.
for
Excel.
Yeah.
Those are the only 2 people I will sell Office to. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I carry no Office in the
Yeah.
building.
And actually, it worked out that I was able to get it through school and not have to buy it.
Oh, that's even better.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, LibreOffice.org or .com, depending on
Yeah.
how you want to type
I've
that
actually
in.
seen that, I think, on a Linux machine before.
.org. LibreOffice.org.
Very Office. Can I show?
Yeah. Yeah. Looks like this.
Actually, looks like a very nice site.
I wish they did more pictures, like comparison.
Okay, yep, side by
Is it-
sides.
Yeah, like writer, it's word processor. And then I think they show a picture maybe. But it would be nice if they just did side by sides because you
Yeah.
have to go to Google for those nice images.
Yeah. So, although the title is kind of sensational, which the title or the article author intends it to be,
Yeah.
to get people heated up, it's not quite as bad as it seems, but it's still a push towards the subscription
Okay.
basis.
Cool. I'm not so angry at Microsoft.
Yet.
Yeah.
Soon. I mean, it's coming soon. Like
Yeah, undoubtedly.
eventually.
The one thing though, it might not come soon because Office 365 home subscriptions are $60, I believe. Sometimes
year?
Sometimes you
Okay.
can get them for 50. Like I think Newegg.com does it
Okay.
for 50 sometimes. And then Microsoft Office Home 2019 is like 180, I believe. It's
For a one-time purchase?
for the one-time purchase.
Okay.
And they update Office every 3 years. They have like the 07, the 10, the 13, the 16, the 19 just released. And so you're essentially paying the same as a yearly subscription because they're releasing every 3 years. The biggest difference is I have people come in with the 2013 and the 2010 all the time. And they're like, I'm ready to buy a new computer, but I don't know how to get my programs transferred. It's like, here's how you transfer McAfee, and then Office, and then all those other fun programs.
Yeah.
So even though they release it every 3 years, and theoretically they wouldn't be making or losing a different amount of money.
Unless you buy the perpetual and you don't get the new version. Which is what a lot of people do. Is
Yep.
they just keep the version, and since they're comfortable with it, they never upgrade.
I have the 2016
And for the
that I
money,
show
it makes
people.
sense.
Like,
Yeah.
here's the 2016, here's LibreOffice Writer. They're the exact same program. But not legally. They're definitely different.
Yes, so you can get it for free, legally. We've got the Chinese copying Mr. Musk. Actually, it's a Chinese company called LinkSpace Aerospace Technology Group, which is a private space
So they're privately owned
company. Yes. And they were established in 2014, but I'm not sure what day it was. Recently, they just shot a rocket up to 300 meters, which isn't that high to be fair. But the notable thing is that they landed it
They
just like
relanded it.
Elon Musk has
Yeah.
been doing. So their goal is kind of like SpaceX to get reusable spacecrafts in order to reduce the money it takes to get into space, because the rockets are going to be reusable.
So one thing I would be curious on with this is how much the fuel
Can I show
costs. I just showed it once. Yeah, we can show it again. is how much the fuel cost is, and the R&D for this, and if it is actually worth it.
I think they're kind of in the long run again.
You think it's going to be worth it in the long run?
It must be, otherwise I don't think they would be looking at it.
Or is this like a utopia hoping for the best? Because that's a lot of research and development cost.
Yeah.
And it's like, should you buy the fancy China plates or should you just buy the 500 paper plates? You're like, well, the 500 paper plates would make more sense for a lot of people most of the time.
And I will say, it's a pretty good way to kind of raise funds and to raise awareness.
Yeah.
And to just get in the spotlight. To have a new technological feat accomplished by your company. Like landing the rockets. So that's a good point.
Okay. I wonder if to raise money if they should do something a little different. Like once they get the rocket up there before they bring it down, if they could have something shoot off on the rocket.
You mean, for example, they could, I don't know, send their personal Tesla into space?
Ads in space.
Into Mars? Like Elon Musk did?
And that made money.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm not sure if it made enough, but
I think it's kind of cool that they're trying to get reusable spacecraft, because I do think it's going to turn out better in the long run for these companies. It's going to make it less expensive in the long run. Kind of like the space shuttle did, I guess, because they reused the space shuttle.
Okay.
For launch after launch. But so this was their third launch. They had previously done tests at 20 meters and 40 meters, which is not very high.
No, you can almost throw a baseball that far.
20 meters, what's that, 60 feet?
Yeah.
70 feet? Yeah, you probably could.
You could get a baking soda vinegar rocket higher than that.
And then they're planning another test later on, either this year or next year. It's going to be up to 1,000 meters, a kilometer.
And that's
much higher.
That's a much more impressive of a number.
Yeah, than 300.
It'd be cool to see it, though.
Yeah.
I wonder what... Because it's not even big-sized rockets, is it? They're tiny
They
rockets.
were 8 meters tall, which is about...
Okay, so they are big rockets.
20
feet rockets.
30 feet tall, yeah. They weigh 1.5 tons.
Oh, okay, cool.
So they're
Can you imagine launching a 20-foot rocket 60 feet into the air?
Everybody better back up because it's going to be sketchy.
It's probably higher up on the loading truck. Good Lord. Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Wonder if we'll create a new space race. Hopefully not with us versus China.
Us versus China. Hey, you never know. Huawei may get in there.
Yeah. It's going to be... instead of US versus China, it's going to be Huawei versus Samsung.
In the space race.
Samsung's not even American.
True.
Oh, Lord. So something I didn't know about was the Minecraft Super Duper Graphics Pack.
Okay.
I was watching a different type of Minecraft, like super high definition graphics pack.
Okay.
And this looks like it's different.
This one is actually made by Mojang, or was going to be made by Mojang. So back in 2017, Mojang, the developers of Minecraft, announced that a pack they were making a free pack that would include dynamic shadowing, reflections, and material-based lighting, and more. But as it turns out, this year, a few days ago, they announced that it was not going to end up being released because of how it performed across devices. So on mobile or Xbox or PC, which, in my opinion, I mean, it's a graphics pack that you can add on. It's not something that needs to be performing on all devices.
And there was a crazy one surfacing around. I'm going to see if I can find it really fast. Should have found it earlier.
I've never really done mods on Minecraft. I haven't played Minecraft in the past probably 2 years, even once. But yeah, I've never really done too many mods.
These guys, Continuum Graphics, this Stratum Graphics Pack, I believe it is. It's one of the two. They only have two graphics packs. They like crazy.
So it's super high def.
Yeah, so that's one of the tree trunk blocks.
But you notice the shadows aren't very terribly pretty.
Yeah. It's like that's one of the fern bushes. And like these look ridiculous. They had a video somewhere but it's like a $30 pack. So I was like, I'm not gonna spend.
So is it
money on
just high def textures, or is it
And they
other things too?
so it's textures, which is just the image, like the picture image.
Yeah.
But then they also have like bump maps and such. So even though it is flat, it
looks like it has a real
yeah
texture.
It looks really, really good.
Okay.
Yeah, here's some full scene
Oh wow,
pictures.
that does look really good. The lighting looks really nice in those too.
So yeah, you can, even though you can still see the blocks,
Yeah.
some of them look like they have depth to them.
Yeah.
It's like those blocks over here
They
even though
call
they're
this
flat,
one
they
gravel.
look like they're bumpy.
Yeah.
And it's really well done.
I like that. That lighting looks really nice.
So this is what I'm really actually excited for. I didn't know Mojang had their own.
Well, they
thing
did.
going.
Not anymore. Maybe they canceled this in time for the Minecraft 2.0 release. Yeah. Minecraft 2? No.
No, no. We're never gonna get there. They're gonna drag feet as long as they can. What? Oh, we got you put this one in the Huawei OS for
Yes.
smart TVs.
Yes. So at a conference recently, go ahead.
Oh, I heard very little about it.
Okay.
But
At a conference recently, I don't know where the conference was. Probably in China. Let's see. Yep. So on Saturday, Huawei revealed their Harmony OS, which is going to be their operating system. It is going to be an open source operating system, so it can be installed on other devices, and other developers can develop apps for Harmony OS.
And this is the Android competitor that they were
Yes.
teasing about.
Yes. So it looks like it'll first be released on a television, a
Yes.
55-inch TV, and I didn't see any dates in the article from CNBC, but it looks like they're mainly going to use it for the television and wearables and like car tablet stuff
Okay, cool.
first. They're also going to have it ready for smartphones and laptops in
Yep.
case they can't have access to
Android.
or, this was an interesting point too, or Microsoft, because Microsoft's also based in the US.
Okay, yeah, I didn't think about that one.
So due to all these regulations and restrictions, due to Huawei's, what do you call it? The potential spying,
Yeah,
Chinese
yeah.
government
Yeah, backdoor stuff.
backdoor stuff. Yeah.
So the one super interesting thing that you kind of said in
Yeah.
a roundabout way is that it's going to be one OS across all electronic platforms.
Yes.
Which sounds really, really nice.
Yes, it does. And kind of reminded me of Apple, actually, a little bit.
Ew.
Because
So,
they have kind of their
the full operating system works all over the place.
whole range.
It sounds really nice because sometimes I'll do I'll do house calls where I go out and I'll work on their entertainment system setup, and they'll have a smart TV. Like, all right, what kind of smart TV do you have? We bought it at Best Buy. It's like, yeah.
Real specific.
So
let me just Google that.
And they're like, it's a Toshiba. I'm like, all right, what kind of smart TV? And it's like, is it a Fire Smart? Is it the Roku Smarts? Or is it some weird Android TLC garbage? And every smart TV you run across is different, it feels like.
Okay.
And then all car systems are like that. And no matter whose car you get into, AC's in a different place. The radio stations are a different place. Everything's different. And if you can universal it just a little bit more, I mean, it'd be really nice.
It'd be easier to troubleshoot and
no downsides to it as
and
far as I
use.
can tell. Because it doesn't have to be identical the same. Kind of like how laptops are pretty universal on how they work.
Yeah.
But they all have their little niche that they fill. And I would like to see that with TVs, and then cars would just be nice.
Yeah. But for now, they're going to continue using Android as long as they can.
Which isn't a bad thing.
Which isn't a bad thing now.
I think it's just dragging feet.
Yeah.
Because China has one of the few populations where if they want to switch overnight and do something different, they're about the only country that can do that. Like, I would be okay if America just said a day like, all right, we're switching all of our street signs into the metrics, and Monday morning you're no longer using MPH, you're using KPH, or whatever the hour version of a metric
Kilometers
is.
per hour. Well, I don't know if there's a metric time.
We're
still an
going
hour.
get off the imperial time.
Yeah. And then another interesting point I thought that the article made was the CEO of Consumer Division, Robert Yu, said that many device makers have strong interest in using the Harmony OS, but they declined to name any of these companies. So they're wanting to make people think that people are interested in using their OS, but
I don't.
no. I can't imagine that. Maybe some Chinese companies, but
I don't see any benefit of any big company wanting to switch OSs, because that involves a whole lot of new programmers to know the new language to rewrite the program.
And you need everything new on the App Store because none of the apps would be compatible.
Yeah.
And
it's a lot of overhead for these companies. Why would you want to switch if what you're doing is making you money? The only people that are excited for it are going to be smaller people. They're like, I can get a lead jump in it. I got a chance now.
I thought it was interesting, though, how this CEO guy was wanting people to
we
think.
Got many companies.
Yeah, many companies. No, I can't name any.
Oh.
Well, advertising, sponsors.
Are we there?
We're close enough.
We're close enough. Man, we got so many sponsors this week, but we can't name any of them. We got all the sponsors. Sponsored by us.
Yep, sponsored by us.
Jacob with Nephew Tech.
Jay with J Mart Media. Check me out. I got a YouTube channel.
I do too, but you should
may
check
be on
his
it
out
right now. He also does unboxings of 3D printers.
Yeah, I did it a couple days ago.
Well, unboxing of 3D printer.
Yeah.
Singular.
It was almost printers. The instructions for this thing. We actually go into this topic if you want.
Yeah, go for
This
it.
3D printer. I'm going to grab the instructions right fast.
Okay.
You're going to love the instructions.
Okay. My guess is that it's going to be either a QR code or all in Chinese. And from looking at the printer, it could be either because there's actually a QR code right on the side of the printer. And all the text except the logo is in Chinese that I saw.
So all the rest of the stuff in here is just warranty information.
Okay.
And like, dear friends,
Yep.
Thanks for your order. Thanks for your support. Thanks
Dear
for the chance
friends.
to get your advice. Thanks for buying the Creative 3D.
Wait, your advice?
Yeah. Thanks for the chance to get your advice. So if you've ever built with Legos,
Okay.
you know how well detailed their instructions are. This is a $250 printer. This is the extent of the instructions to build the entire thing. It is absolutely miserable.
In 12 easy steps of 7 steps each.
The one benefit they did have is all the screws were in separate baggies with a label
With
on
the
it,
labels? Oh, that is great.
instead of it just being one big old bag of screws.
Yeah, so I just see the parts and then they're magically assembled.
Yeah.
All of them.
The worst part, the hardest part I had with it is the parts aren't to scale to anything else. So this one part's like the size of your thumb, and then the part on the other side of the page, that thing is like 3 fists put together.
Gotcha.
And so finding the part,
Like that right there?
yeah, yeah, so like that's the giant motor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like there's the battery, which is the huge silver thing on the side, and then you have the thing right above it, which is, I don't even know what that is. That's the brace for the battery.
And on the picture, they all appear to be roughly the same size, whereas on the machine, they're definitely not.
Yeah. Like, it would have been okay if they had like a little magnifying glass to show like, hey, we super zoomed this.
Yeah.
It took so long to build this stupid thing. I was like, oh, I could build this in like 30 minutes to get it up and going. It took an hour and a half. It was crazy. So it was fun. A little
And so
aggravating.
far, you've printed
I got one little piggy bank. And
a
I've got
little piggy bank.
about 14 platforms for a little dog mold that didn't work.
Ah, gotcha.
The one weird thing that it didn't tell you in the instructions or in the video or any type of documentation on it until I found a Reddit post about it is the bed is warped. So the center's way lower than the 4 corners. And when you use it, even though you say like start the print, and it will preheat the bed, it'll preheat the nozzle, and then it will start. Recommendation is to preheat the bed before you preheat the bed, to give the bed a chance to warp flat, because the heat will re-warp it flat, but there's not enough time because it heats up the nozzle too soon.
Gotcha.
And so that's why I have
warped dog bowls.
101 half Dalmatians. And so the documentation on it is very poor.
Yeah. Did you ever try and visit the QR code?
No, I don't have a QR code scanner.
Simple. Install the app.
Oh, no, I'm good. Probably all in Chinese, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, besides all the dead doggies, we got a little piggy bank, and working on a projector mount, quick attach for the ceiling, because you can't buy one on Amazon. So now I'm building one. One cool topic I want to get onto it is that with all this plastic that I'm just saving at this point from all the fake molds.
Yeah.
I started looking up today on building my own filament extruder, where you can regrind all the crap filament or even stuff that you finish, and you're like, all right, I'm done with it. You can smash it and then remelt it into new filament.
Cool.
And then can reuse it essentially, which is a really cool idea.
How hot does it melt at? Do you know?
I believe I'm using PLA. I believe it's 170.
170. So that Celsius?
I believe it's 100. Yeah.
If that's 170 Celsius, that would easily survive in your car in the summer. If it's Fahrenheit, it might.
180 Celsius to 220 Celsius.
Oh wow, awesome. So that would easily survive in your car then.
Yep. I'm printing at 200 Celsius on the needle and 60 on the plate.
Okay.
It was preset to 45, and then everyone told me to bump it up to 60 to 65, so I did.
Gotcha.
I just did 60.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll have some good products to show from that.
Hopefully soon. Yeah, but one thing I got really curious on this extruder is that you can buy like ready to build extruders, pretty much like the 3D printer where it comes in parts and you just build it and then you're good to go.
Yeah.
They're like $300.
Almost as much as the printer.
Which is more than the printer.
Really?
Yeah. But I'm curious on the electricity cost to remelt it versus just buying more. Because I don't know how much electricity it uses. I'm going to get a smart outlet that does the wattage thing to watch my wattage. But I would be curious
to
on
see.
Is it even worth melting it?
Worth the effort and worth actual money.
I should take it to like a friend's house and do it.
Good point. Good point.
So, yeah, right now it's collecting in a shelf, and when I can get a little bucket, I'll be collecting it in a bucket until I can figure out what to do with it. That's pretty much my 3D printer. Super excited for it.
Swatting. So recently, I think it was last week. We didn't actually talk about it last week, but there was the
it's up here.
Fortnite World Cup.
What a joke.
Where the winner won $3 million. And last week he was swatted. Which, if you don't know what swatting is, basically it's where someone calls in the SWAT team on a person who is live streaming.
Yep. And most of the time they're spoofing the phone and
so generally they pretend to be the streamer and say, hey, I've done something, blah, 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 blah. And the police get called to the house and raid the house, essentially.
Yeah. Super scary stuff.
So in this case, the caller told police that he was Kyle and said that he had shot his father multiple times with an AK-47 and had his mother tied up and in the garage. That is according to the police department. But fortunately, one of the officers apparently lived in the neighborhood with Kyle and kind of knew him.
Which is almost a crazy luck.
Yes. And this is where I thought the police did a great job, was they called the house first before they entered.
Okay.
to try and talk to them, and they were able, I guess the father was able to explain what was going on. And so the police still had to come in the house and investigate
and verify.
and verify that that's true. But
Which is a good thing.
rather than just busting down the door,
Yeah, guns blazing and
they were able to do it, I mean, in a less stressful situation. It's still stressful for them and for everybody involved. But
and then there's the risk reward that because they called, they gave extra time. And if time was an essence thing, like if he had already done something terrible and they were bleeding out or something, taking the extra 4 minutes to give a call and get on the phone with them.
Yeah.
Could be the difference, but it's definitely a good idea, I think.
And then I also looked into the other shooting, which we talked about. I think it was on our first stream, actually. There was the guy in Wichita, Kansas, who got swatted and actually killed by the police force.
Yeah.
And it turns out the caller got 20 years in prison. The guy who did the swatting and called in the SWAT team got 20 years in prison after pleading guilty in court, which is
fairly low because didn't he do multiple swatting incidents?
He may have. I'm not sure. I don't remember. Wichita, Kansas.
Yeah, I was pretty sure he admitted to multiple. In which case, 20 years
that is
isn't
definitely
enough.
low. But yeah, not cool. Don't do that.
So do you think, because we talked about it on our first stream, I haven't come up with a better solution.
Better than this solution?
Than the phone call solution, yeah. On preventing really bad incidents with cop swatting.
I think our solution before was to talk to the local police department before you stream, right?
Yeah.
And kind of let them be aware, which is very similar to what happened in this case. Because the officer knew the family.
Yeah, which is...
And they contacted them by phone before going in the house.
Yeah.
Which was very similar to what we had kind of talked about in our first week.
Yeah, we did talk to them. They haven't had to deal with it yet, I guess.
Yeah. So it would be nice if the local police department, had something in place to account for the possibility.
Yeah.
In advance of the situation actually happening.
That would be fantastic.
Because, that's kind of crucial there.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Camera?
Yes. It's 103 megapixels. Which is all the pixels you'll ever need. 103 megapixels at 256 kilobytes of RAM.
Is that enough RAM to hold those pixels?
Not even close. Oh, I'm trying to find this article. Where are you?
Down near the bottom.
There we go. Found it.
Samsung recently released a camera for smartphones that is 108 megapixels. And it's going to be included on one of Xiaomi's phones that's coming out soon. And this sensor is humongous. I did the math, or I found the math online, actually.
Are you talking physically humongous? Or how many pixels humongous?
How many pixels humongous.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't found the actual die size.
I don't think the actual camera is going to be that much bigger on the phone. But the pixels is going to be 12,000 by 9,000.
Oy.
Which is insane. The question I have in my mind is how good is going to be the quality of these pixels?
It's only an 8K. It's just barely above 8K.
And it can also shoot 6K video.
Okay.
6,000 by 3,300 at 30 FPS.
Why can't it do 8K video? I wonder if it's more of a buffer thing.
Probably a buffer thing would be my guess.
Yeah. Because there's physically enough pixels there.
I think that's true in a lot of cases, though. So my camera on my phone can take a picture at, I think, 4,000 by 6,000.
Yeah.
But it can only take a video at 1080.
Yep.
Which is pretty common.
Yeah, I think
even
that's what mine
in
does.
DSLRs, and it's pretty common to be able to take a picture of much higher resolution than video. So that's pretty standard.
So the one super interesting thing I saw about this is the idea of it possibly being really good at low light photos, because you would be able to, instead of having a super high res,
Combine the noise.
combine the noise. You have so much extra pixels at this point.
My thing is, it's probably going to require a ton of light to take a picture, because if the pixel sensor things are so tiny, they're going to need a lot of light.
See, I'm thinking of just making a bigger
absorbed.
sensor. And you're thinking of making...
If they're making a bigger sensor, that would be a possibility. If they're going to try and keep a similar form factor, that's not going to work. So hopefully they are looking at a bigger sensor.
So
they should say it in the article somewhere.
Yeah, I found it here. Yeah, there you go. Neither Samsung nor Xiaomi have announced which phone will be the first to use this sensor. It's large 1 to 1.33 inch size.
Oh wow, that's pretty big.
Which is 3/4 larger than the 1-inch sensor found in a Sony compact camera.
Oh, so it's even bigger than...
We're gonna... Oh, here's the Sony compact camera. So it's 0.33 inches bigger than what's in that thing.
That's a good sign. So maybe it will be quality.
Like that ridiculous... Oh. The Moto did it, didn't it, with the Moto camera phone?
I'm not sure. Oh, wow.
Yeah, this stupid thing.
That's weird looking.
Because I think Sony did something like this also, with a giant lens thing. So it's more of like a digital camera with a phone capability.
Okay.
Which, I mean, would you prefer one massive camera or 17 micro cameras like the new phones are coming out with?
Probably one massive camera.
You'd rather
at
do
least
the one
it's good
massive.
for something.
You don't want one super wide, one selfie wide, one ultraviolet,
Not really.
one glow in the dark.
Not really.
Man, I would almost prefer just one big one.
Yeah, same. So hopefully it turns out to be good quality, but we'll see. I mean, even a DSLR camera doesn't have that many megapixels.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's one thing when I was trying to buy this one in 2014, I believe, is that I kept getting caught up on megapixels. I was like, should I buy this one because it's 22 megapixels or this one because it's 24 megapixels or some arbitrary number?
Yeah. And they're all pretty similar in range, too.
My friend was like, you need to stop worrying about the megapixel and start worrying about the quality of a pixel.
Yeah.
Because it got 2 less megapixels and look 10 times better because
the image is sharper and
it
the colors
captures
are
the light better.
Yeah.
And so I took his word on it, and I've been using this camera for about
And it looks good, right?
5 years. Looks all right.
A little bit red.
Yeah. It looks good for being bought in 2014 and sitting in a closet for multiple years.
Yeah.
So I like it.
Zombie apps.
So this is not what I thought it was when I first saw this article. I'm really good at picking out topic by the title and then just putting in the doc and
That's
saying it's good
exactly what the article writer wants. They want to draw you in with a sensationalized ad or title and get you to watch their ads. Or at least load the ads on your computer, which is not working for you, but you know.
Yeah. Oops. So permanently delete iPhone zombie apps on your iPhone. So what I thought this was originally talking about, and what I wish it was talking about, is how to delete the pre-installed factory apps.
The what do they call that? Bloatware or whatever?
Yeah, bloatware, spyware, depending on how you want to look at it. And that made me super interested in this article. It was like a way that you finally could delete the crap pre-installed that's not jailbreaking your phone. And it turns out...
It's not about that at all.
No, instead it's about something else I hate, so...
So the issue is with an iPhone, when you delete an app on your iPhone and then either revert to a backup or connect your iPhone to the iTunes store, then the apps are automatically reinstalled.
Which isn't as terrible. The reason I don't like cloud backups and cloud restoring is because people don't understand what it means, and 90% of the time it doesn't do what it says it does. So I get a lot of customers who will do like a OneDrive or the Google Cloud.
Okay.
And it will back up the computer, and it backs up like the desktop, the pictures, the documents, the videos, the music. It downloads the user data is what I call it.
Okay, yeah.
The problem is it will back up the icons on the desktop.
So
And-
the links,
And
like
so,
the shortcut links.
Yeah. And so the customer will verify that it backed up the programs by checking on their, going onto the cloud and seeing, oh, it backed up my QuickBooks icon. And then they come in because their computer's saying no boot device found. Like, oh, I can put a new drive in there. I can reinstall Windows and we'll be back up running. Like, cool. And it's like, but you've lost all your data. Like, oh, I got backed up on the cloud. I'm like, sweet. This is going to go great. It'll be an easy customer. Going to make lunch money. Awesome. I give them their computer, get my money. 2 hours later, they call me. My QuickBooks is gone.
Because the QuickBooks was under the C drive in the program files
Yeah.
folder, not under the user data.
Yeah, not the desktop shortcut. And it gets a lot of people to the point that I don't like it at all anymore.
For those of you who are not educated on computers, which I don't know why you're watching this stream, if you aren't,
They're trying to get educated.
yeah, that's good. But the apps or the icons on your desktop aren't actually the application. They're
Yeah.
just a shortcut that's pointing to the application, which is on another place on the device.
Yeah. It's kind of
So
like a
even
map.
if you back up the shortcut, it's not actually backing up the app.
Yep.
So I can see why people would think that.
Oh, we got the example here. So I always have to show this to my customers. Up here in the top corner, the recycle bin and my new folder are both on the desktop, and they're stored physically on the desktop. But then this Greatly slicer has this little icon right here, and anything with this icon is a shortcut.
And
it's
when he
not-
hovers over it, you'll see
yeah,
that it shows a link to where it's actually located on the computer,
yes.
which is not the desktop.
And so if you see that little icon, it's lying to you. It's not really there.
So is that why you don't like desktop icons?
That is why I hate desktop icons.
I can
The
see how that
amou-
would be frustrating.
The amount that I get yelled at over not backed up programs. Like, oh, well, how can I back up my programs? Keep the serial. That's about it. If you don't make a duplicate of your drive, there's not really an easy way to do that, unfortunately. Unless you have Office 365
Hey.
or QuickBooks Online. Yeah, so this article was talking about something completely different.
Yes. If you're having that problem, though, you can read the article over at CNET. We'll probably link it down in our descriptions.
He'll link it in his description. I'll just copy and paste on his. Oh, man.
Photo search.
Photo search. You saw a sneak peek of this already in the live stream. I like it. Have you noticed it?
No, I haven't.
All right. So we're going to open up a new tab
Oh,
here.
I see it now, though, now that I'm looking at the article.
Oh, we're actually going to open up the Brave browser.
Also,
funny
you know,
enough.
I don't use Google search, so.
What a fool.
DuckDuckGo for the win.
Perfect. All right, so we're on the Brave browser here, and we're doing a Google search, as you can see from over here. So let's say we want to look up lasagnas, because I had a lasagna for dinner. And we're going to go over to images, and you get all your lasagnas. So it used to be when you open up Google search and go to pictures, the picture would show up below the image, and now
Or would
it
it just
shows
straight
up.
pop up? It would just kind of pop up
Yeah,
on the entire screen.
yeah, it was very invasive.
Like a pop-out ad.
And now it pops it up over on the side. The really, really nice part of this, oh yeah, is that you can scroll this,
Oh, neat. And look
And-
at the related stuff.
You can look at related, and it'll even tell you the title of whatever the post is.
Okay.
And then if you have a bigger screen than a laptop, like a normal desktop, it will give you sometimes like the first paragraph, like here.
Oh, cool.
And so you can see it's like, enjoy the hearty Classico 2-sauce lasagna entree.
So you could say, is this actually a recipe that I'm looking for?
Yeah.
Or is it just an article about, or just a page with a lot of spammed pictures of article?
Yeah, and then you can
lasagna.
You get your 2 scroll bars over here, and so this one does the inner side one does the article, and the outer continues.
Oh, neat.
Your
to
search.
Actually scroll the search
It's
page.
like, oh, this taco looking one looks really good, and then you can see like, oh look, this one has its recipe right there for you.
That's awesome.
I love this layout. I've yet to find anything bad. The one thing that people keep saying is bad is like if you're in here and you close this, it jumps everything around because it's now expanding from 3 images to 6. But if you see this lettuce one here, it keeps them relatively close. So we'll find another one here. This one.
Okay.
And then if we close this article, it usually stays right on the page. So it's over here.
Okay.
So like it doesn't jump. Yeah, it's right here. So it doesn't jump your page around terribly much, but it does a little bit. I mean, they could have done it way
But that's
worse.
really the only downside.
Yeah, that's the only downside I've found. Otherwise, I love the new Google search. Hey, there we go. Cool, there's nothing. Oh, there was. Hopefully we're private. So no one
Probably.
can edit it. Cool. If not, edit our doc for us. Let us know someone's watching. Anybody out there.
And
that all
you
the
put
fun?
down another article, right? No? No, that was something different. Meme of the week?
I think so.
I found a meme that both of us will personally relate to more than any meme we've ever seen. And he's kind of worried about it.
I am very worried about usually their personal attacks.
It's not intended to be a personal attack. But I think you'll like it.
That works. Lord, give me strength to finish all the side projects I've bought domains for.
Is that not personally relatable?
Oh, I like the star there. Lord,
Yeah.
give me strength to start all the side projects I've bought. That's pretty good. I was actually talking to someone. I've handed out one of my domains just to another business owner. It's like, hey, you could just borrow this one for a couple months because it's just sitting on a back burner right now. And so she's just using it to forward to our website.
Oh, for email?
No.
Oh, to redirect?
Yeah, for redirect.
Actually, there's a comment on there too. Have you ever tried to resell domains?
No.
One of the comments down there, someone mentioned reselling
one
domains.
comment?
Yeah.
I feel this. I have hundreds, but putting some for sale as premium domains on GoDaddy has made some good cash on the side.
Have you ever thought about doing that though? You can like list them. You can buy them, then relist them.
I've
to
never
sell them?
thought about doing that. I have debate on going through. I'm gonna actually talk about this off camera first.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk about this off camera
Okay.
first.
But I thought it was a pretty relatable.
That's actually
meme
really,
there.
really relatable. The amount of domains I own is disgusting.
Pull yours up, and I'll actually look at it on my computer this time.
Yeah.
Can I pull it up?
Yep, you're good.
All right. Trying my new 3D printer. Also pretty relatable.
Expectation versus reality.
Yes. And as it turns out,
It's pretty accurate.
it's pretty true. So right now we've got something printed out, which is essentially like imagine a 3-sided house with a roof on it.
Hmm?
Jacob was expecting there to be structure for the roof,
Yes.
but as it turned out, there was no structure added by the program, so it's just, well, it was going to be just a blob, but
Thank
he's
God for
shoved
cardboard
in
and
some
paper.
cardboard and paper to act as kind of scaffolding underneath the print. It's looking
Yeah.
pretty good though.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be like a little C, so you can slide something like a T shape into it. And I thought it would build like a thin bridge layer, and it did
It
not.
didn't. So if you hear any high-pitched whining or singing or music,
It's just my voice.
that's the 3D printer. I don't think you can hear it in the mics. We were listening to it earlier.
I hope we're good. That's really everything. We get right there at that 50-minute mark. We've been doing that
Yeah.
week after week. Hey, I got 2 people watching, but nobody talking.
Hey, me too. Oh, got to do a redrawing for the
Oh, yes.
SSD. So let me...
I knew I was going to win it.
Down to last week, we have...
Do you need to
the
do it on
links-
this one?
Yeah, I'll do it.
We're actually going to double check this printer real fast while you grab this up.
Okay, yep. So I'm going to pull this up here while he goes and looks at the printer. How much time does it have left?
It's 53.
53% complete.
8 hours and 2 minutes so far.
Remaining? Or that's how long it's run?
That's all it's going to go.
Oh, so it's going to go on for another 8 hours.
It looks really good, actually.
You'll probably see a video about this. Well, actually, I don't know. You may see a video about this print later.
If it comes out right.
If it comes out right. I might make a video if it doesn't come out right.
It all looks good.
All right. F11. Here we go. Thank you, everyone who signed up for the giveaway.
Watch my name pop up.
Your
Oh.
PCMD. Not you again.
Not me again.
So your PCMD, I will comment on your message, and you'll have a week to contact me via email, j@jmartmedia.com. Otherwise, I'll be picking another winner. So I'll reach out to you, and you'll reach out to me. It'll be all good, and we're still sharing.
Cool, thank you.
But thank you to everybody who entered. I do appreciate it.
I was
Also, still at 100 subs.
still at 100. I think I had 101.
103.
Oh, look at you.
Over
girl.
100, you know.
Oh, I see how it is.
Yeah.
I got 6.
Nice. How many are you?
4.
I think 2 are me. Actually, that might be.
Yeah. But I got 1 follower on Twitch and it ain't me, so.
Hey, not me either.
Whoa.
Any more topics to discuss tonight?
No, that's about it. I kind of want to run that domain thing by you.
Okay, yep.
But that might be a topic for next week.
Okay.
If it goes well.
Join us next week where we may talk about domain things. Hopefully won't have another drawing for the SSD. And we'll be talking about game streaming.
Yeah. And possibly Mixer.
Oh, that's another streaming platform,
Yeah.
right?
Microsoft reached out to me.
Oh, did they really?
No. No, of course
Did
not.
Ninja himself reach
Yeah.
out?
Yeah. Ninja personally handed me $1 million bill and said, Jacob, we'd love to have you.
Another topic that you can look into on your own time is Ninja. Ninja just switched over to Mixer.
Yep. Don't go to his Twitch.
Nope.
Lots of bad stuff happening over there right now.
Really?
Yeah. Twitch does recommended if you like this, you might also like these streamers. And one was an adult content streamer that snuck onto Twitch. And so people are going to Ninja's Twitch account and then get
Huh.
recommended adult content.
Huh.
And when Ninja called the Twitch CEO out, or CFO or somebody, he called somebody out at Twitch. They're like, oh, we were just trying something new out. We didn't handpick you. It was just we were using our offline Twitch streamers.
But it's Ninja's account.
And then
Only
Ninja
the
was
most popular streamer.
Yeah, that just left Twitch, and it was a very bitter
Just
leaving.
yeah.
And
Kind
so
of coincidental there.
yeah. So yeah, don't look for Ninja on Twitch. Go over to Mixer with us.
Join us next week as we tech about tech things.
We're
Have
gonna
a good
tech
week.
about them.
Tech about them.